South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today regarding my amendment 2132, specifically targeting an opportunity to improve education for those kids attending Title I schools. This is a portability amendment. As we debate this education bill, we must ensure our focus is in the right place. Education policy is not about protecting a bureaucracy. It should not be about empowering Washington, and it cannot be about an endless, fruitless push for some one-size-fits-all type of system. This conversation must be about kids, 5-year-olds and 15-year-olds, and their unlimited potential. Yes, I believe, without question, that each and every child has within them a reservoir of potential. We should make sure that the access to experiencing the fullness of their potential is available to all Americans throughout this country. Too many of our nation's children today do not have access to quality education. They don't have access to the education they deserve, and now more than half of the students in our nation's public schools come from low-income households. This is an important point. As someone who grew up in poverty, someone who grew up in a single-parent household, I know full well the challenges that come with poverty. Poor kids too often move a lot. By the time I was in the 5th grade, I had attended 4 different schools, 4 schools in my first 5 years of education. That's 4 different administrators, 4 different set of teachers, 4 different funding streams, probably 40 different funding streams. So when you look at this through the eyes of a poor kid, or if you look at this through the eyes of a single mother, struggling simply to make the ends meet, it seems very clear to me that providing more educational options is the right path forward for us to make sure that every child everywhere experiences their full potential. Giving states the ability to provide portability for the Title I dollars, school choice for those most in need, is the kind of reform our kids deserve. It's the kind of reform they need. I don't care whether it's public, private, charter, virtual, homeschool. I don't really care what option, as long as we have all the options so that the parents find the best for their kids. Instead of forcing funds through red tape and bureaucracy, let's have it directly follow our students. And we're not talking about all the school funding. This amazing nation provides somewhere around $700 billion of funding for schools. We're talking about a sliver, about 14%. Let that 14%, the federal dollars, let those dollars be portable. Give the children in Title I areas the greatest opportunity for success we know as a nation. We all understand and appreciate the fact that to achieve the American dream today, it requires a quality education. And by backpacking those funds, you hope little kids like I used to be, growing up in difficult circumstances, to look into their own future and to look into that future with hope, understanding that opportunity lives and breathes everywhere in America. We are seeing what happens when the majority of parents simply do not have those basic options, and we're seeing it in some challenging statistics, stunning statistics. In 2010, there were 2.8 million high school dropouts between the ages of 16 and 24. The unemployment rate in America today is around 5.2%. But for those kids who dropped out, the unemployment rate, 29%. And nearly 36%. More than a third of those students were not participating at all in the workforce. Taken as a whole, That's nearly 2/3 of all high school dropouts were simply not working. These are devastating numbers for our nation as a whole. No matter where you live in America, you are impacted by these statistics, and they should cause you to stand up and take notice. These are students who deserve better, students who just need a little confidence in their abilities, and we can provide that through school choice. These kids, trapped in failing schools, underperforming schools, deserve an opportunity. It is simply not fair to our children, not fair to their parents, and simply not fair to America to allow the status quo to remain. I know there's no silver bullet, but school choice is a large step, a leap in the right direction. That's one of the reasons why I launched my Opportunity Agenda with school choice, the Choice Act, as a part of the foundation. And that's why I'm standing here today discussing, pleading with my colleagues to take a serious look at the educational opportunities available in some of the poorest zip codes in America. I think it's important to note that my amendment complements a growing body of evidence where we see now 57 school choice programs in 29 states. 57 school choice programs in 29 states. Not in the South merely, but in the South, yes. The Southwest, yes. The Northeast, absolutely. The Midwest, yes. Local and state leaders are figuring it out that when parents have a choice, kids have a chance. Let me be crystal clear. It is absolutely paramount that we act and that we act now. I know that opponents of school choice want to use voucher as a dirty word. I get the tactics for those who do not support giving every child a quality opportunity. I understand. But they forget that the federal government already authorizes vouchers for education. We just call them Pell Grants. Too often, too many of our poor kids and our kids of color never receive a Pell Grant because their high schools did not prepare them for college. Now, we know that there are quality public schools all over this country. And we should celebrate the success of our quality public schools. I'm a big fan of our public schools when they work, but I'm a bigger fan of the potential trapped inside our kids and underperforming schools. We can make a difference. We should make a difference. And this amendment provides us the opportunity to make that difference today. We don't have to wait until tomorrow. We don't have to wait until next year. We can do it today. You see, I took my Pell Grant to Charleston Southern, probably the greatest university in the history of the country, Charleston Southern University, where I took my Pell Grant to a private school and experienced a wonderful education. You know, faith and hope are two of the most powerful and necessary emotions. They oftentimes serve as the glue to a better opportunity. We can restore those two powerful emotions in areas where kids too often are losing hope. So you see, I know that personally. I've seen it happen in my life, personally. That's the power of school choice. All of our kids, yes, all of our kids have amazing potential. And I believe that there are good people on the other side of this argument. I believe that the other side who believe that school choice, as I am describing it, is wrong. I believe that they have good intentions. I'm just speaking from a personal experience. I'm speaking from the statistical realities that we see across this country. I am speaking on behalf of those kids who have been trapped too long, locked out too often, said no to too many times. It is up to us as policymakers to create an environment where we unlock their potential. I hope that today we will continue to have a robust debate, leaving politics behind and figuring out how to improve educational opportunities for all of our children. Thank you, Mr. President.